Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our show and tell, The Quest for Energy Efficiency. We've got three great speakers lined up for you today. We have Max Bartlett with LED Direct, Samantha Howell with MCore Services Fagan, and Deborah Phillips with Evergy. We're going to begin with Deborah Phillips. She's going to do a short presentation about the programs that they have going on. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, Deborah, go ahead, and then I will proceed this screens as you need.
Okay, thank you, Crystal. So just very quickly, just a few updates with Evergy and in our energy efficiency programs. On the next slide, you'll notice that we have some increased incentives available. Can you go to that next one, Crystal? Okay, so we have increased incentives available from July 15th through December 31st of 2020. Crystal, are you able to go to the next slide?
Yes, this.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And a little slow to show up there for some reason. So I had some examples on the third slide of increased standard incentives. For example, one for run replacements on our linear fluorescent lamps have gone from like $5 to $6 per lamp. There's incandescent replacements, fluorescent fixture replacements. So there are quite a few increases in the standard incentives available. So just may want to check into those and take advantage of those before the end of the year. On the next slide, is everybody able to see the slides? Nope. Okay. Yeah, Crystal, they're not moving forward, but it's okay.
They're not?
No, just the first one showing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm seeing it. Okay, I don't know. All right, hold please. Okay, I'm just going to email this to everybody because it's showing on my screen. So I will email you all, everybody that registered, the presentation so that you can see it, and we'll just proceed as usual. I'm sorry, Deborah.
Thank you. That's okay, no problem. So just some project options would include commercial refrigeration, variable speed drives, lightings and controls, chillers, high bay LEDs, and HVAC. So those are just some things. If you're saving energy, don't ever hesitate to reach out, because the programs are different than they once were, where it was the very basic, heat pumps and upgrade lighting. So there's a lot of things out there that are options. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. And I always like to remind everybody that we have two types of rebates: the standards and the custom. So standard rebates, if you anticipate a savings of less than $10,000, you can apply after the equipment purchase within 90 days of install. The custom rebates are the new construction savings, for the larger projects, and you have to apply for those prior to the purchase or installation. So that's key. And, I most certainly want to make sure nobody misses out on these rebates that are available. So just feel free to reach out to me anytime. We also have a Renewables Direct program, and that is our wind program. There's a minimum requirement of 200 kW there. There's some limited availability, and it's going very quickly. So feel free to reach out for any details, more details on the Renewables Direct, and that is our wind program. There are limited locations such as Missouri West, which is the old GMO KCP&L territory, Kansas Metro, which is what used to be KCP&L in Kansas prior to our merger. So the last slide that I had was just contact information. Even if someone, if it's a customer that I don't work with directly, I'm happy to answer questions and put anyone in touch with whoever they need to speak with the right folks, so you don't have to dig and try to figure that out. And then we also have our Business Solutions Center contact information on the last page that Crystal will send, so you can email them or call them for any billing inquiries, or if maybe the customers are smaller and we want to work directly together. Also for vendors out there, we have a great trade ally program. So anything I can help anybody with and put you in touch with the right folks, I'm happy to do that. Sound good? Does anyone have any questions?
Fabulous. Thank you, Deborah. Apologies
you.
about the PowerPoint. I will get that as a handout out to everybody
No problem.
as soon as we get off the call. Okay. Thank you. Now we're going to go into Max's presentation.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, guys. So I'll kind of just piggyback right on top of what Debbie said there about the energy savings program. So I'm with LED Direct, and we do commercial industrial LED lighting. And we are a trade ally with Evergy. So we partner directly with them on capturing all those rebates for our customers. And so what that does for everybody is say you own a facility and you're wanting to transition to LED. Our main goal is to reduce energy and save money for the customer. And there's not a better way really to do that than to capture as much rebates as possible on top of the energy savings. So we do that for our customers. We handle all of the paperwork. We do all the facilitating with Evergy themselves. The only thing that the customer usually has to do is open the door so Evergy can look and make sure they actually put LEDs in. So we've been doing that for about 4 years now. And I'll drop a link in the chat for the incentives. Those were on the slides. I don't think everybody was able to see them, but basically there's a whole bunch of different incentives out there that we can apply based on exactly what kind of lights you have in your facilities, and which can get kind of confusing if you don't look at lights every day like I do. So that's where we like to come in and help everybody just get where they need to be on the energy saving side. Samantha and I have gotten together and talked a little bit about the new retro commissioning program that Evergy is starting to put out, which is kind of cool. Since Samantha does more HVAC work, we can tie things together on just an energy savings level for reducing energy used on a HVAC side versus energy used on a lighting side, and really work towards a total energy savings for the building in general. And that's where the retro commissioning program comes in. I've looked at it a few times. I actually haven't done a project with it yet. It's brand new. So my understanding is that basically we can meet some certain requirements. We'd have to survey the buildings, but we could add even more incentives on top of what we're trying to save going forward. So our goals are really ultimately down to it just to save as much energy and save as much money for our customers as possible. And we do everything we can to help assist that, just because it can get a little confusing. So with that, I'll probably pass it on to Samantha to touch on her portion of it.
Yeah, sure. And Debbie, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the new retro commissioning incentives are designed to pay off within 18 months. So unlike the custom HVAC incentives that oftentimes are, 10 to 12 year paybacks, the retro commissioning piece is designed to fix some of those smaller issues that over time build up and cause your building to operate more inefficiently than it was when it was originally commissioned. So the biggest thing for HVAC and energy is a lot of times it's just basic maintenance. 60% sometimes of your utility usage is going to come directly from heating and cooling your building. So keeping your equipment running as efficiently as possible with clean filters, with clean coils, can save you sometimes between 15, 20, even 30%. So keeping those pieces of equipment maintained is very, very important to your utility usage. Not everybody has the big capital budgets to make the upgrades to high efficiency equipment. Those are big projects, big capital projects. But on the retro commissioning side, it's something that can be designed for any building, anybody on the KC-Mo side that reports to Evergy. So Max and I think we met and we kind of paired up a little bit to talk about how HVAC and lighting comes together, and lighting will oftentimes make your HVAC projects pay off a little bit faster. That's why a lot of times they're paired together. So if you've got a building that maybe doesn't have every floor retrofitted and you're looking for a mechanical upgrade, it's a great time to do the lighting upgrades at the same time, because it actually makes the project pay off that much faster. So that's all I really have to say about the energy efficiency side of things. I will tag on, I'm at a really cool place today. I'm actually visiting a hospital in Lexington, Missouri, and I'm actually at the battleground for the Lexington battle. So I'm gonna turn my camera around just so you guys can see where I'm at.
Cool.
It's a really eerie place. This battle was unfortunately one of the battles that the Union fell to the Confederate side, and they actually used hemp bales. The Confederate side used hemp bales to set up barricades, and it actually is kind of what pushed them over the edge. So apparently there were a lot of hemp farms around here, and they rolled the bales as barricades, and they wet them with the water from the river, which is just out this way. And that's kind of how they won this battle. It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting. Thank you for the location share. When she first joined this morning, she told us she would tell us where she was once the call started. So I've been dying to know. Thank you. And thank all of you, Deborah, Max, and Samantha, for sharing this morning. Now I'm going to reach out to everybody. So I'm just going to kind of start at the top of the list. I'm going to go with George Waldron first with Zipco Restoration. So George, what's new in your world?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for making me the guinea pig. I appreciate it. So you're talking about, is it anything new?
It could be anything new. Something
Okay.
you're working with.
So, yeah, so we do a lot of work with claims adjusters on the insurance portion of the loss. One of the things that's new is the virtual adjusting now. So you can take one of these things called a smartphone and go on FaceTime or whatever the app is, and the adjuster can sit at their desk and use and have the owner of the home or the property manager or somebody at the building walk around and show them the damage in real time, and that there's whatever app or whatever platform they're working on, they can take pictures from the video, like snap still shots from the video as it's moving through, ask questions. And so it's pretty remarkable how we've gotten to a point now where, I mean, there was a time where you had to do everything in person. I come from that world. I was in claims for 20 years before I switched over to this, and a lot of property loss. And when I was in the field as a young man, I'm a little more seasoned now. It was very, you had rolls of film, you had to go get it developed. I mean, how technology has changed so much on how that side of things conducts business. It's pretty remarkable. Everything used to be done in person. So yeah, technology affects everything. It's crazy.
That is cool. It had not occurred to me that they could do insurance adjustments virtually now. That's exciting. I did know, I learned a fun fact. You're allowed to have your driving, like car insurance, on your phone. Like you can have a picture of it. You can have it digitally. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you still had to have that stupid paper. Like,
you mean if you're pulled over and they ask you for your proof of insurance?
Proof of insurance, it works.
Did that happen recently, and that's how you found out about that?
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
Very good.
Okay. Well, thank you for that share, George. Yep. That was good. Brandon Greason, MTS Contracting. Tell me what's going on in your world. Anything new?
We don't necessarily have any new products that I know of that we're working with, but I can talk about a couple projects that we're working on. One is One Park Place, which is a large condo building that's across from the Fox 4 News studio. That's an interesting building just because of the way it's built. There's balconies all around the building that are concrete, and then the rooms, the windows and everything else sit off of those about 6 feet back from the edge. And so we have been on that building since the early spring, and we're coating each floor to waterproof it. And well, first we're having to strip it, and then there's a lot that goes into it. But strip and then prime and then put a coating over it so that it protects it for, more years to come. So I've posted some pictures of it before on my LinkedIn page if you've seen that. And one of them is when I was on the 19th floor looking out over the city. So that was pretty cool.
And all there was between him and the ground was this little flimsy net.
Well, that's actually a different project. That's I was even higher up on that. I was 400 feet up on that one. So that's 909 Walnut. That's downtown.
Yeah, I am a scaredy cat. I could not be that high up. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's exciting. I love that building. Melanie Bellinger used to be involved with us here locally. She's moved on to Florida, but that used to be a property that she managed. So we would have occasional meetings there, and it is a gorgeous condo building.
Which one, Park Place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great.
Samantha, I was also going to say, if you go downtown there, there's a cannonball still stuck up in the courthouse, if you've seen that.
No. Okay. Fun facts. Thanks, Brandon. Okay. You're on mute, Samantha.
I drove by it this morning, and I'll drive back by on the way, and I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you guys.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Colby, I'm coming to you.
I don't think does it work?
Yeah, it's working.
Yay! I was just about to say, I don't think my microphone is still working because I've been gone and I haven't fixed it. Maybe it fixed itself.
Yeah.
Hi, I can actually talk to people.
Welcome.
I'm just playing catch up because I've been off for a couple of days, but I know that our crews came back from Cedar Rapids on Monday, and now we're getting ready to deploy some people down to Louisiana, I think, or Houston for Hurricane Laura. So I wasn't even aware that there was a hurricane until this morning.
There's like two.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the first time there's been two tropical storms in the Gulf ever in recorded history. So
I haven't watched TV for like 5 days. So I turned the news on this morning and I called Ken and he was catching me up on everything. So I obviously have been MIA.
well, good for you. 2020 is just historic.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, Iowa has been devastated, and I feel like we're not hearing a lot about it locally. We have several restoration companies on. How long have you guys been up there? Are you done now, or?
No, I think that we have one crew that's staying up there, but the other two came back so that they can go have a couple of days before they go down to Louisiana. So
next disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Yeah, but it is still really bad in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, that's Iowa is not doing well. Thank you for that share. Colby's been doing something exciting too. It was her wedding anniversary, so that's why she's been out. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, Chris Staples, tell us how you're doing. What's going on with Triad?
All right. Unmuted. All right. I think nothing really new out. I know last time we had this call, I talked about two different roof systems. One was like a Velcro roof system, which everybody was amazed, myself included, once you see it. But it's been out for a little over a year now, so it's not real new. Not a whole bunch of roof systems have been put down utilizing that particular product. But the whole point is, labor-wise, it's supposed to save you on labor just because it goes down much quicker. Material-wise, it's more expensive. So that's one roof system. And then there's a second one called a wind vent system. So it's basically a retro over the existing. And we know how windy it is here in the Great Plains. And this is a system where you actually have a series of vents on the roof, and it sucks the membrane down to the roof. Utilizing the wind that we always have out here. So, and that's becoming more and more popular because once again, it's another system that you can put down fairly quick. A lot of these retrofit systems, when you run into any type of retail or office building, we want to be as non-disruptive as possible, which is fairly a challenge, I guess, because once you start running into different glues and, drilling screws in and so forth, it gets somewhat disruptive. And that's what's attractive about these systems is they go down and there's limited glue, so we don't have odors, and there's limited noise from drilling, screws and hard plates and different things like that. So just a couple different things that have been out and about and are gaining some momentum.
Well, your Velcro roof that you shared last time, I've heard that discussed multiple times, and I have actually brought it up with multiple people. Did you know you can have a Velcro roof? So thank you for sharing. I love show and tell. This is
See how we're evolving. We go from green roofs to Velcro roofs. I mean,
right. Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so next up is Valerie Mussett with Design Mechanical. What's new in your world, Valerie?
Well, first off, I want to reiterate what Samantha said about, it is all about the maintenance in our world. So that's number one. Like she said, 60% of your bills are HVAC related. So good job, Samantha. And new in our world, well, we're just trying to help with the COVID and get people feeling comfortable to get back to their buildings. And there's a lot of products out there. So you can check it out on our website. We have a special section on our website on air purification. But it's crazy nuts right now, and nothing's 100%. But let's be honest, it's about being comfortable back in the building. And there's just some things you can do that are not super expensive. And maybe they should have been done in the first place. Who knows? We've all survived thousands of years with all kinds of viruses in our world. And, our ancestors survived the Black Plague, for crying out loud, or we wouldn't be here. So don't want to be scared of it, but we definitely want to respect it. So let me know if I can help.
Well, and Valerie, and I think you and Samantha both work with Mechanical Cells Midwest. Like you guys would install their products that do the UVC filtration, right, for your air systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just sell it and we install it.
Yeah, that was a really interesting webinar for y'all. If you weren't able to join us for it, it is on demand on our website and it's really easy to access. They did a handout. It's a really spot on program. I enjoyed it. Did you guys like it?
It's pretty high level and intense, but Samantha and I can help simplify it.
Yes, right. Okay. All right, so let's get to some of our voice only callers. I feel like a radio DJ picking people. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Kathy Crossan. Kathy, are you interested in sharing something? I'm gonna unmute.
I wasn't ready to do that, but for work or personal or what?
Well, I mean, you could do either. We're always all ears to hear fun things. But ideally, you might share something like Kathy manages Union Station, which is a fabulous property. So you could talk about something that's going on there, some new system that you've put into place, a product that you're working with, or just tell us something cool that's going on in your life. It's just a share.
At Union Station right now, before COVID, Union Station was a hopping place. It was always busy. There were always things going on. We had so many events, anywhere from like expos to weddings. And then a lot of companies use that space for their parties, whether it's a Halloween party or an annual party that they book every year. All that has stopped, and it is way different to be there now. I talk to my tenants and they don't feel the liveliness, they don't have the energy that they had because there isn't all of that going on. And even all the tenants there, which I have about 15, 20 that have offices, different office, different companies that office out of there that you don't necessarily see every day. And as they walk through, you know, a lot of them are still working from home, but they have the option to go in. So all my tenants are back in some fashion, but they're just not all there every day. And as I talk to them, they have been, they don't have the energy. And you used to go in there and you would feel the energy of all the people, anywhere from the public that was in there to go to Science City or to eat, to all the tenants that do office out of there. So we have been trying to get used to that. We have ordered the MERV. One thing that we have done to help with the tenants and their air quality inside the space, we have ordered the MERV 13 filters. Some of those have been on back order and have been, you know, it's taking longer to get those, but we are installing those as they come in. I just hope that one good thing though to share, 2021, there are a lot of bookings for events for 2021. So I just hope that they can go on and have those events, because it's been hard on everybody, and it just starts to wear on everybody's attitudes and moods. But those events, there are a lot that have been planned for 2021, just like our real estate expo.
Yes, yay!
Yay! And then I also have to share, while I've been on this call, I have cats, as most of you probably know. One of them likes to eat blankets and clothes. He will eat a hole out of our sheets or our comforter, and it happens so fast. And I thought I was watching him, and I looked up and he was chewing on my sheets. And now we have another sheet that has bites out of it, and he really eats them. Like, he must have the strongest stomach ever, because he ate it.
Is it Bandit?
It is Bandit.
His name perfectly fits.
And then he looks at you so sweetly, like, what did I do?
Oh, cats. Well,
So-
and you also have some exciting news for events for Union Station, which I think this is exciting because I actually plan events at Union Station. The event planning is now through Bronchitos, correct?
It is. Yes, it
Yes.
is.
That's
So
really exciting.
With COVID, Union Station, they had a lot of employees that directly worked for Union Station. And in June, because everything had, dropped off, all the events, and then we were closed for 3 months with Science City and the planetarium and things, they had to lay off people. They laid off, I think, about 35 people. So they got rid of most of their event team. And so Bronchitos now has stepped in and to partner with Union Station, and they are taking over all the events. So I work with Bronchitos now on the events that do happen at Union Station.
And they're pretty fabulous if you guys are looking for event space for next year. I love working with Union Station. They're always great. And Bronchitos is actually a catering company that we utilize a lot. And
Yes.
Their staff is always top notch. Never any problems. If there's ever anything wrong, which is very, very rare, they fix it. No questions asked. So thumbs up, Bronchitos. And I'm looking forward to working with them next year for our expo, which everybody save the date, hopefully May 5th.
Okay.
Will be
Yay.
our expo. Yay. Okay, thank you for sharing, Kathy.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna hit up the next person on the list, Kelsey Flowers.
Hello.
Hello.
I just want to start off by saying, Colby, your dog waiting there with the ball is like the cutest thing ever. You should probably throw it.
Every call, he's always here. He doesn't let it go. He doesn't actually want me to throw
just-
it. So
Yeah, he just wants the attention.
yes,
He wants to be on camera. I get it.
every time I'm on a Zoom call.
Nothing really new going on at our buildings. I know that parking lot wise, like the LED lights, we're slowly but surely incorporating those. And we've also been doing the MERV 13s as well. And basically just trying to make our building not only efficient, but also right now during this COVID, just trying to make it comfortable for tenants to feel like they can come back in and we've got everything taken care of and it's a safe and healthy environment. But yeah, that's really all that's going on at our buildings. As far as personal, my daughter was able to actually start soccer again, which she hasn't been able to do that since last fall, I think, is when everything, or spring, when everything went down. So she couldn't even play high school for her junior year. So that's exciting.
That is very exciting. And also personal, Kelsey Flowers won one of our scholarships to take a BOMI course to begin her education for a certification or designation. So congratulations, Kelsey.
Yes, that did happen. Yay.
Yay. Well, thank you for joining us and thank you for that share. You're in the same boat as most of our property managers, trying to make all of those adjustments to make people happy and more comfortable coming back. So join us tomorrow for our EP program. We're doing 2 sessions with that, and I think that they will also touch on some of the changes that they're facing in their properties. And they're also doing a session that's on customer service, and it's for both allieds and property managers. The property managers are having to deal with building owners that are struggling as well, or tenants that are struggling, as well as building owners that still have bills to pay. So creating empathy and sharing that while still maintaining a professional demeanor and kind of some of the budget things to make changes and things like that will be discussed during the EP program tomorrow. So register for that if you haven't already. All right, let's see. The next person on the list, Kathy Nietsky.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Kathy, are you a robot? What's happening? Okay. Kathy, that was the best thing to happen all day. I love this. Okay, Kathy, you've got robot voice. So we'll come back to you. We love Kathy. Kathy is serving her 2nd term on our board of directors right now. She's with Red Development. Thank you, Kathy. That was a good chuckle. Okay. Oh, we've got Shelly Lemon. Shelly Lemon, do you want to share something good with us?
Good morning.
Good
Sure.
morning.
So we just started this week installing UVC lighting in 2 of our air handler units in one of our 10-story office buildings on the plaza. So that project just commenced yesterday morning and is well underway. So our tenants are excited to be able to tell their associates that, you know, we're going to have a more better air quality system in the building. And so we as well, we've, you know, been doing a lot of coil cleaning with disinfectant, and we've upgraded our filters and to the MERV 13s and are changing them quarterly and just doing some additional upgrades to the building. And last year we did an LED conversion throughout the 10-story office building, which was great. And we're seeing some great electrical savings with that. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We have some decorative exterior cornices on the building. And we discovered last weekend that one of them was slipping. So we had to go into emergency phase and had to shut down the entrance to McCormick and Schmick's and the entrance to the building. And long story short, we had to remove one large Cornish unit on the east elevation, and now we're on the west elevation and have to remove 4 more. So it's been a crazy busy month thus far.
Right.
Hey,
Well,
Kelly,
Yes.
this is Valerie.
Hi, Val.
How's your husband doing with being a police officer around here? Are we good?
It's a very interesting, trying time, for all. Yeah. He's in a very interesting position because he's the president of the Fraternal Order of Police. So he's the police union president. So he's under a lot of scrutiny, and it's just a very scary time right now. So, but thank you.
I think we all support him. So, he's got a lot more support than I think is shown.
Well, I appreciate that.
All the police. So thank you for letting him do that, I guess, right?
Well, thank you.
Well, Shelley, I noticed that there were several people on your team that were on our UVC webinar. So thank you for sharing that and having them join us.
Yes, it's a great webinar.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're utilizing some of that technology. And your facades, so there nationwide has been an issue with facade maintenance. Building owners have put some of that maintenance and inspections kind of off, and it hasn't been really regulated much. So earlier this year, I don't know if everybody realizes, but BOMA KC put out a position paper that's best practices for facade maintenance. It's really important, especially in the coast. There is some over-regulation happening of facade maintenance where the cost is exorbitant, the time frame is impossible. We're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen here locally for us, so we're trying to get in front of it. We do make recommendations about how often your facade should be inspected and how it should be maintained, but people have died from chunks of facade falling off of buildings. We've shared that online. We do have information on our website if you're interested, but it's so important. So I'm glad to hear that you're working on it.
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be a big project, $1 million. So
it really is a huge project, and it's not cheap to do that. So I applaud your building owner for handling that. Okay, let's see who else. I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, please speak up. It's not on purpose. Okay. Well, I loved this share. Does anybody have any questions? Do you want to talk about anything else?
Hey, Crystal, I did just want to say, this is Deborah from Evergy. Really working through the COVID and billing and, our ever-changing environment. If there's anything I can do to help with any of those things, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help. I know I work with national accounts a lot as well. And so it can be very challenging. So I'm happy to help if I can.
Thank you. Okay. Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you for joining us. I hope to see you all on our call tomorrow. Feel free to join us even if you're not in the EP category. We're looking forward to it. Some great presentations. And again, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Samantha. And thank you, Deborah.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Everybody take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.